life that I'm living. Sit back, chillin', start a multi-business with the focus. Making millions is the stuff that dreams are made of, and no hater can stop. Hello everyone, thank you for joining us for another episode of Let's Talk Business. And my name is Marvell Robinson, I'm the host of the show, and I would like to give an introduction to our guest that we have here today, Miss Traci Williams. How you doing, Traci?
Hi, thank you for having me to Let's Talk Business. I'm glad to be here today. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. I'm looking so forward to the discussion that we're going to have today because I find your story interesting. Now, are you originally, I guess I should ask the question, are you originally from South Bend?
Yes, born and raised in South Bend. Grew up on the west side, was Bendix back in the day, Bendix Pool, Bendix Park area.
Okay. So you have a strong connection with this community.
Yes.
Yeah. So with that said, let's talk about the beginning of your journey that led you to this entrepreneurship process. Of course, you're a business owner. You are in the retail business.
Yes.
And before you got there, what led you to that, or what made you say I want to start in that industry?
Well, I had two great mentors in my family. These women were amazing. My mom, she had a beauty shop. It was called Hair Affair. And then my aunt, she would rent rooms. So back in the day, it was called roomers, or
Right.
it was called, now we call it shared living, right?
Right.
So she would rent out rooms. And our job, the children in my family, was to clean the places up and get them ready for the next tenant or the next roomer or the shared living space. So that was my job. And also to knock on the door and say, hey, would you like to eat dinner with us, or should we bring your plate to you? And she did the whole hospitality thing. Okay, so then my mom, my job was to offer magazines. My job was to sell the lipstick and the earrings. My job was to clean up the brushes and get everything ready for the next day of business, and to greet people and offer snacks and things like that. So these women were amazing because also I watched them acquire property. And back then, women, we had to have a man sign or be present for ownership or to buy real estate or housing. So they were creative. They got, my dad to sign his name, and then they took his name off. I don't know what the reasons were for that, but they made it happen for the women in my family. And then the cousins that came in, and they bought their property, showed them how to do it, the women. So I think it kind of rubbed off on me in a way because I was nosy enough as a kid to ask a lot of questions. So yeah, that's how it happened.
Wow. So you come from a long line of entrepreneurs, starting with family members who showed you an example without you even really thinking about it in the beginning. It sounded like they were the original Airbnbs, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm grateful and thankful to have grown up watching the highs and lows of business as entrepreneurship and the way they would strategize and come up with ways to be successful women in our community.
Okay, good stuff. And that obviously took place here in the South Bend area. Did they have you in those rooms when they had those discussions? So you saw things from the very beginning? Yeah,
I kind of got in trouble a little bit. I would be the one that's sneaking and listening, because it intrigued me as a kid, what are they doing now? My aunt also, she would have people come over and eat, and she would fix these great big dinners and everything. And there was a fee at the door, but you were full. You were full with prayer, you were full with business and people gathering and networking and, the neighborhood and things like that. And it was just so intriguing to me. I was like, wow. So yeah, and like today we have Unique Boutique International. Yeah.
Exactly. So you were inspired by family members. They set an example, and now that's the beginning of the thing that motivated you to want to be an entrepreneur.
Yes.
So what took place that you just decided to develop a plan for your own business that made you say, I want to do retail? How did that begin?
I looked at it and I was like, I went to Chicago and I seen people like selling towels and selling water. And I said, I know what that is. That looks familiar. So what I did, I started buying T-shirts and shorts and accessories, and I would come back to South Bend. I don't know, people probably see me like on Olive Street in South Bend, not too far from Kennedy School, the school I went to as a kid. And I would be there selling open, they called it back then, you had to have your peddler license, you had to have a agreement with the owners of the land that you could set up and be there. So I did that for many, many years to feed my children, and it worked. So then when the winter came, it was like, uh-oh, what now? So I looked for a storefront. And that became T's Wares, which was on Western Avenue in South Bend, Indiana. So we had Mr. Lax was cutting hair next door, and I rented from him. Very small space, but it was the prices back then were workable for a space, and it worked because he was doing hair next door, and then here I am over here selling accessories and clothing and socializing, and we did a lot of fashion shows. We connected with other people in the community, and now today, Unique Boutique, we're doing the same thing. We're connecting with different people. We're having models and hair shows and just connecting with people in the community.
Okay, that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, that's a contribution to the community indeed.
Yes.
So, wow. Peddler's license. I must be too young or something because I don't remember a license.
Yeah, we're
there. Like, so let's talk about those steps then, because I know you have to make sure that you are in good standing to do business. You can't be out there, even though most people call it a hustle. But what steps did you or did somebody direct you to go get those licenses? How did you find out about that? What did you do?
To be a business, the LLC, the structure of the business, your EIN number, filing your taxes, keeping your paperwork and your bookwork in order, having a tax person, your accounting and all that has to be in order. Because you want to know your numbers, you want to see your numbers, and marketing is a big thing. And let me tell you, because I have the boutique and it's kind of hidden downtown, that we have to do guerrilla marketing. So that's a big piece of being in a business as well.
Yeah.
So remember that you have to market, you have to continue networking and showing up and being part of, what's going on in your community to get the word out. Word of mouth is always the biggest marketing tool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hear you stress marketing, and for every business it's a little different, right? Some people have a budget that's set for that. Others may not need as much of a budget. But now let me ask you, obviously you had a business plan. You got connected with the right resources to help you structure things through the state of Indiana to register your business so you could be legal.
Yes.
Right? So when it came to that marketing, how did you structure that in your business plan?
When I looked, because my friend Miriam gave me the boutique, she seen something in me. And what's great when somebody believes in you? So you're going to make sure you connect all the dots. And when they tell you what to do, when you have mentors, so Cindy Coyne is a mentor of mine, Miriam McGlosky, she's a mentor of mine. So I set out to get a group of mentors, because I'm teachable. And I think I'm a life student as well.
All right.
That's what God said.
All right, all right.
So for me, it's like, I like information. I like for you to give me ideals and strategize and say, what, this sounds like this will be a good idea, and see how that fits for the boutique, for the business. Because some things don't fit, so I have to remember that as well. So being focused on your business, inside your business, and on your business, it's like a balancing act. But marketing is definitely something you'll have to. Is that social media? Are you willing to and want to put a billboard up about your business? So there's different ways. It depends on how your business is structured and what you want to do. So there is a budget needed for marketing. Yeah. But yeah, you need to have all your things in line. Your EIN number. What is your tax sales that's due? What do you need to file every year? And I'll tell you this, when the nasty word pandemic came in, a lot of people forgot to refile their EINs. Even their 501c3 business, which is a business too, people forgot, because it just changed, everything changed. Right. So people are going now, I hear, changing the name of their business naming it a little bit different, but almost the same, to recapture it, to get back on,
Okay. Okay.
So like I opened in 2019, right in the pandemic. So it was interesting.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you opened at that
Yeah,
particular
I'm
time.
pandemic baby, business
Pandemic,
baby.
baby. Okay.
And
Okay.
it took a lot of strategizing and, how are we going to keep these doors open?
Hmm.
It was a scary time, but,
Yeah. Yeah.
God said, keep the doors open, just keep moving forward.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And you're right when you said it changed the world because people really learned how to strategize and market a little bit different
Yeah.
due to that pandemic, like you said, to keep the doors open.
Uh-huh.
So obviously you have a website, you that's part of the marketing.
Yes, and the website right now is being restructured right
Okay.
now as we speak. Yeah.
Okay. And see that cost.
Uh-huh.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
And so, and I loved how you said that word of mouth. That's always been the number one
Oh,
marketing
my.
tool. That's how you pass in business cards and things of
Yeah.
that sort. All those things are things that have to be calculated in expenses. So for
Yes.
people who put that in their business plan, if they're going to utilize those type of things, they got to make sure they count the costs, obviously.
And you know what? I went to the business boot camp, entrepreneur boot camp with Dr. Morris. I went through the Spark program with St. Mary's, wonderful group of ladies, Paula Sars, and a couple other ladies. They're Willow. They helped me. So I made sure that I was taking classes. I made sure I was getting certified. Put your certifications on the wall and look at what you accomplished, and celebrate. Celebrate every milestone that you can in your business because entrepreneurship, I'm not going to tell you it's easy. It's not. It takes work. You got to put skin in the game. You have to research and study, what fits for you. What are other boutiques doing in different countries like New York or maybe in China? What are they doing?
Okay.
So now what we have, back in the day when I was doing business, now we have all this Google and all this information. It could be overwhelming as well. It's like, well, do I do this or do I do that? It's just so much information out there now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally different from when I started.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned something I thought was interesting. You mentioned about what other your competitors.
Yeah.
You say you got to know what your competitors are doing, and that's also a chunk that a person has to include in their business plan. When you think about what you do and compare it to others, boutiques, is your boutique the closest one that's downtown, or how many competitors
On
you
this
have
side of the river, yes.
Okay.
Yes, and actually we it's so diverse. We have things from China, we have things from India, Africa, and so we have these conversations and we meet these wonderful people. I just love people and to hear, where the shell came from Africa. No, that's an ostrich egg and it came from Africa. It's an ostrich egg shell, and somebody took and made a necklace or a bracelet, and I thought, wow. How amazing, you have shells from, different countries and different stones, and it's just amazing.
Yeah.
To hear the story that goes along with it.
Yeah.
And when you're helping different groups and organizations in different countries as well, helping women, they're making clothes, making this item to help just basic things that we take for granted as a water or education or school. It really inspires me to make those connections and have purpose.
Yeah.
So then that's why we have HOT, Here Our Tears, No Abuse, Bullying, or Violence. So we've been doing that since 2012. So it brings conversations. We have the meetings right at the boutique. So we give a day of that, which is every first Monday. We talk about what is gaslighting, what is stonewalling, why is it important to know what's a healthy relationship versus an unhealthy relationship. So if somebody's calling you 15 times in one day and you at work or at school, that's too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, the boutique is nice. My baby is hot. HOT, Here Our Tears. And they all connect together. It's like Make a Purchase Against Violence. We have women and our men that we help put them in a hotel or get them a ticket out of town. Okay. Safety is the most important thing.
Absolutely. So it sounds like your organization, your company is involved in a lot of things. We talked about marketing. We talked about knowing your competition a little bit there, which is a journey in itself because you got to know what you're dealing with to compete.
Yes.
But then you also talk about kind of sounds like a little bit of I don't want to say necessarily charitable, but something that's more something that can be an asset to the community.
Yes.
Right? So so your company's involved in community service almost a little bit, which is a great thing. And that's something great that you all do. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Now, just thinking about your company, you deal with sales, you know, because of the retail, but then you also got some real estate in there.
Yes.
Because you have what we call overhead, brick and mortar still, right?
Yes.
So how did you, as a business owner, how did you make negotiations for that work? I heard you say something about somebody gave something to you. Can you expound a little bit?
I still have things. Miriam calls me and say, I have this. I just got back from India. I have something for you. You know, it's just amazing. So what has happened is, in that space, you know, God said, share the space. And I was like, huh? I know what space he was talking about, at home, or should I be doing bed and breakfast? I didn't get it. And then it was like, no, Traci, the space at the boutique. So, but that's another thing. The bed and breakfast is another thing. Okay. But at the boutique, we have started sharing space, renting space. So you may have different clothes that I may sell at Unique Boutique. Your clothes may be a different group, a different market, but it's going to bring different people and diverse people into that space. So then we're having conversations. You might come in to see the boutique, but you may see something over. We have the Soul Sister that's doing the massages now at the boutique. You may come in and get a massage. You may see something at Red's where she has the outfit that's totally different from what I may have that fits for your daughter that came with you. So just opening that space, we had 1,000 suits for 90 days, and that worked out really good. So that person is gone, so that space is available. We're still looking to fill those spaces up. And sometimes that's a seasonal relationship with the spaces. Sometimes it might be something that's permanent, you know, or for a year lease. It depends.
Right.
So we're fitting with people as they are. Entrepreneurship is not easy, and if we could help and we could come up with something good. Okay. Win-win for everybody, because we're going to market and we're going to get people to know in our community that we are at Unique Boutique International downtown.
All right.
We are present and we are there.
Good. So I hear a lot of collaboration with other entrepreneurs and potential business owners, and you're helping them out with that. And of course, it's business, so they have to pay for those spaces.
Oh yeah, there's a fee, yeah. But it's the relationship too, you know. So we have the South Bend Chocolate Cafe. We are inside the South Bend Chocolate Cafe downtown South Bend, you know. So then there's another entrepreneur that's great. Mark. The chocolate man, I call him, right? Okay. And it's amazing the things that he's doing in the community. You know, he's hiring the young population, and they're working that store, and they're learning how business goes and socializing and networking right there in that space. So I thank God for, you know, the relationship I have with Mark and the Chocolate Cafe, and able to, you know, be there in that space.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. So I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing, because we're hearing the details. You know, we talked about marketing, we talked about the product. You mentioned about the product enhancement with the different materials and so forth. We didn't touch on distribution, but we did include these collaborations and these community services. And these are all things that, you know, a person, when they're getting ready to start a business, they have to think about this. Some of it sound like it just kind of happened. It might not have been something you thought about in the beginning to include in the business plan, but you saw an opportunity. And even though, you know, it might not have been the initial outset of the business plan, you saw an opportunity, you took advantage of that opportunity with the purpose to help other people. Is that about right?
Yes. So then you have like the Impact and the Empower Center. You have James Summers, you have Keisha Farlow, you have Northern, people that have been helping. And I talk to people on purpose, because I know I'm living my purpose on purpose. That's to be a community domestic violence advocate. And then it's like the business part of it. So I don't mind asking you, Marvell, what do you think about this? What do you think? I just love conversations and ideals. Yeah,
that's good. So we've heard about the progression and heard about how your organization has enhanced because of the products that they offer. No doubt reasonable prices for individuals coming.
Some.
I got you. Well, that's retail for you, right? That's how it works. So let's talk a little bit about the challenges, though.
Oh, yeah. When the ugly word pandemic came, a lot of vendors that I would deal with, they had shut down, you know, or just like I said, maybe 6 months we'll come back, or, you know, things changed. Right in the middle as I had started getting my rhythm. It was like, boom. I was like, okay, what now?
Right.
So it's almost like a restart button. I had to figure things out and strategize new vendors, you know, and the numbers were different. You know, you could get 12 of something for a certain price. Well, that changed as well.
Right.
So some things we had to strategize and find a different vendor, you know, for things that we like to have at the boutique.
Yeah.
Keep our customers happy. And you listen to the customers, like, what would you like to see? You know, what would you like to see different, or what product would you like to have here at the boutique?
Oh, okay.
And it's funny because being that there's hotels, right, people say, well, you need some toothpaste and some toothbrushes here and some deodorant. And I was like,
Oh,
okay.
So they give you
So I'm
suggestions.
open.
Yeah,
You know?
open-minded. That's
Yeah,
good
don't
stuff.
be closed on your entrepreneurship. Be open and ask questions.
Yeah, and kind of get, like you said, take advantage of the feedback that your clientele is giving
Yeah.
you, because
Yeah.
they're telling you what they want, and
They
if
will tell
they're
you.
telling you and you get it, you can get that money,
We
right?
sold a lot of umbrellas.
Ah,
Didn't see
right.
that coming.
Yeah, and see, that's a beautiful thing, because you are in prime real estate location,
Yeah.
you know, right next, or is it in front of you where the Football Hall of Fame
Yeah,
used
yeah.
to be?
The gridiron.
Yeah.
Yeah, very. You know, there's like First Fridays. There's so many people there and things like that. And it's, you know, I hear there's other things that are going to be going on in that space coming up for 2025 as well. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Okay.
excited.
Okay. So, as an entrepreneur, a business owner, you dealt with the challenges of the pandemic. You've able to continue to sustain your business despite that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so what are some of the future goals that you have for your company?
Well, one of the future things, since I do think about real estate and I do think about a building, you know, and it might not be downtown, but I see a building with bigger space to offer more space to other entrepreneurs coming along. So yeah, that's one thing that I kind of like really sticks out for me, a 5-year plan. Yeah. So now we're looking at, you know, you look at your narrative and your business, and I've done my business plan, redone it like 3 times. So I have like 5 different business plans, and all those are connected. So when you put those on a wall and you look at your business plan, you print it out and put it on the wall and look at it every day, and it's like, well, okay, I keep seeing this repeatedly, and that is becoming a bigger space for people to come in and rent that space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you a very hard question now, because you know, I love the story,
Yes.
but there's no business that can operate without capital.
Oh.
So how did you invest in your company to get it this far? Was it personal investment, or were you getting loans through the banks? How did you make that happen?
You know, there were several things that, especially when the pandemic hit, it was like, okay, I'm getting my rhythm here, everything's looking good, and bam. So one thing I know for sure, that there's grants out there. They said, me, a black woman, there's grants out there for you. And I was like, well, where are they? So we had a local grants here, and we have grants that are global. Apply for them. Don't be afraid. Learn the grant world, because it will help.
Okay.
You have the city of South Bend, they have money for businesses. Find out where that money is and apply for it. Don't be afraid, because see, I was like not the axe person, but then came hot and we needed help. You know, we needed help. So ask for what you want. Don't be afraid to apply for those grants. Ask for funding. Yes, a loan is okay. Pay it back. Yes, it's okay.
All right.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah. So that's
Believe
what you
in yourself
need to do.
and do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I want to thank you so much, Traci, for taking this time out to share your story. Tell the people how they can get in contact with you, where they need to go to do business with you. Share a little bit of that with the audience.
We are Unique Boutique International is at 122 South Michigan Street, Suite 110, South Bend, Indiana, 46601. We're right at the Gridiron, downtown, South Bend. Or you could come in through the Chocolate Cafe and come into the boutique. We're attached in the same building. It's a hallway. We're right there, been there since 2019.
All right.
My number is 574-300-2747. I am a community domestic violence advocate. And thank you so much for having me to talk about the business.
Hey.
Thank you, Marvell.
No, thank you.
You're
I
awesome.
appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right, you all. So, again, when it comes to entrepreneurship, it's been expressed many times that it's not an easy journey, but you don't expect it to be an easy journey when you know risks are involved. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. Most individuals, when they're going along this journey, they're willing to take those risks and they're willing to do what they have to do to make their business become a reality. For all you entrepreneurs who are pursuing that course, we hope that this show is kind of giving you a realistic view of that journey and the things that you will have to do to make sure that your business opportunity is sustainable and that you will be able to live out the goal that you have for yourself when it comes to becoming a business owner. We really appreciate Traci Williams for coming here today. We hope that you all will be able to go and support her and take a look at some of the products and services that she has. And as always, we want to thank you all for taking the time to spend some time with us here at Let's Talk Business. Y'all take care now.